Morning to all of you. Shall we start the session?
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, madam. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good morning to all of you. And I will start the session. Okay. So up to now, we discussed regarding in the last session also I discussed how to add methodology sections. Okay. You know that when you prepare the proposal, mainly 3 chapters are there, like introduction, literature review, and the methodology. Okay. Introduction means always, and another thing, all the chapters don't mix. Some students, when you considering like some size calculations like that, don't put into the introduction chapter. Okay, you can just put, but other than that one, when you prepare all the chapters as well as all the content in proposal, it should be in the logical order. Okay, so therefore don't mix content related to other chapters. Okay, the introduction means everyone understand that you should introduce your research. Okay, what is the research problem and all, what is the significance, like that. Introduction should contain all the matters related to the introducing your research topic. Okay, and literature reviews chapter, you should give some evidences. Okay, by comparing previously published research article. If you can easily understand what is the purpose of, when you considering introduction chapter, what is the purpose of creating that one, like that, then easily you can understand how to prepare each effective way. Okay, and the methodology means the way you conduct your research. No, so in that case, all the steps related to how to can you see my screen? No.
No, madam.
No, I already shared. Wait. Okay.
Okay.
Now, can you see the screen?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So I'm discussing regarding the methodology. Methodology means how you hope to plan or as well as how to conduct your research process, like that. So in that case, all the steps, it means how to identify your population and what is your sample and sample size, your sampling method, and as well as how to perform your data collection, and what are the inclusion and exclusion criteria, how to take your ethical clearance, and all the steps you should include into the methodology chapter. Okay, in introduction also, some cases, if you need, you can put some brief introduction regarding what is your sample size and all that with the one paragraph, but it's not necessary. Introduction means you should introduce, because as an introduction, you can just summarize what is your sample size, what is your sampling method, and just name all the things in introduction chapter also using a one paragraph. It depends. You can decide according to your supervisor guideline and all that. But introduction, there are some, what are the main things? Okay, I list out in the at the end of the lecture also, like that. In methodology, definitely you should include what are the steps in your research, like that. Okay, it means how to perform your data collection, how to plan your data analysis, like that. All the things you should include. I think when you consider in the methodology also, I discuss when you considering up to your data collection. Okay, it means at the end of, it means last session I discussed regarding how to prepare your data collection tool. Can you briefly explain when you are describing your data collection, or not only data collection, when you consider your questionnaire, how to describe, what are the main things you should include when you are describing your questionnaire? What are the things you should, or can you just explain questionnaire? Because when you're considering methodology, you should clearly explain how to plan your data collection as well as your data collection tool. Most of the cases you are using a particular question here. I just asked how to explain, describe. What are the things you should include into that description? You can just list out what are the things. It means, as example, if there is a particular questionnaire, so how to explain that one? How to explain means how to describe that question. In the last session also I discussed. Start with how many questions? So there are 20 questions like that. What are the other things you can include? What about my voice? Is it clear? Can everyone hear me? No, I don't know.
Yes, madam.
What about my, it's clear, no? My voice?
Yes, madam.
If there's any problem, please inform. Okay. So when you are describing the questionnaire, first you can explain how many questions are there and of A, B, C, D, like that you can decide. And when you are considering A section, how many questions at each section, you can mention how many questions are there, and you can mention what are the nature of like whether it is open-ended or close-ended, like that. Those things you can include. Let's explain like when you are putting a part A, what is the purpose of it? Means data to demographic, like that. No, it means age, gender, like means the B. You are putting the B section for as their behavior pattern, like that. So like that, you can just so those are the things you can include when you are describing the questionnaire. Is it clear? Do you have a problem? Shall we continue the session?
Excuse me, madam. Sometimes not clear, madam.
My voice.
Yeah,
I also feel that. Yeah, wait. Okay. Can you hear or what's the problem?
Sometimes on and off.
on and off, ma'am.
On and off, no? Yeah. Uh, okay, wait. Okay, now is it clear? Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will continue the session if there is any problem. Okay. So I just explained regarding how to prepare. So in that case, you can start with how many questions and how many, what is the nature of questions, and what is the purpose of putting each sections like A, B, C, D, and some other things you can be considered. Okay. And finally, when you prepare the proposed answer, you should attach your tentative questionnaire also. Okay. I will move. It means today I hope to discuss regarding your data analysis. Okay? Not all the things, because when you are considering data analysis means it's a broad topic. But in your proposal, you should just mention what is your what kind of you hope to conduct, and like basic information regarding that one, not in the audience. You should just specify or mention what is the test you are using, the hypothesis testing and all that, and you can some hypothesis through that test, like that, some basic information regarding your analysis. So basic information I just briefly explain regarding those statistics analysis. Okay? Actually, you know that up to now, we are regarding when you are starting the research, first you should identify your research problem and you construct your research objectives. As example, when you are consider you have objective and the specific objectives. So when you are constructing, when you are establishing those objectives, you should have some kind of idea regarding how to evaluate each objectives. Okay, as example, when you're considering the general objective may be to find out the prevalence of thalassemia patients. So you have particular idea regarding how to find prevalence using some calculations. You can find the price. And as well as when you're considering specific objectives like that, there may be a particular specific objective like with the association between gender and complication of various specific objectives. So when you are putting the each object, as example, three specific objectives, you should have you should have some plan regarding how to evaluate each objective. When you're considering this one, first objective, you can in particular hypothesis, then one using another hypothesis testing, or third one may be not only hypothesis, using some frequency values and all that. You can just summarize like that. Every objectives finally you should evaluate. But when you are preparing no need to evaluate all the objectives, but you should mention how each objective like that. Okay. So therefore, using the statistical testing, you can evaluate the way objectives. So when you are considering why we need actually those statistical tests, first you should understand that purpose, because when you identify the problem related to the population, but you collect the data based on the sample. But finally, you should make some conclusion regarding the population. And also, in the last session also, I discussed that when you are getting the sample, presentation only, no. If it is unresponsive or not responsive, unrepresentative, your conclusion may be biased. No, I just discussed. No, as example, when you're considering a population, it may be consist with various behavior patterns like drug addictors, smokers, alcoholic, and various type of behaviors. But if your sample consists with only the drug addictors, your conclusion is your considered geographical area, all the individuals are drug addictors like that. No, but when you are refer the population, it consists with not only the drug addictors, smokers, alcoholic, and there may be lot of behaviors you can observe. So therefore, your sample should be always representative. Okay, although you take the very representative sample, using the statistical testing only, you can make the very precise conclusions. So therefore, this hypothesis testing are very important for making the very precise conclusion regarding the your population. Okay, so first I just explain regarding those hypothesis testing. What do you mean by the hypothesis? Uh, Now you have some kind of idea. What do you mean by the hypothesis? Hypothesis? What do you mean by the hypothesis? What do you mean by the hypothesis? In generally, what do you mean? Hypothesis?
Assumptions, ma'am.
Yeah, some assumptions, no? It means in day-to-day life also we are making some assumptions, no? It will be rainy and it will be sunny like that. There may be some assumptions. In generally, everyone easily can make assumptions, but statistically, the hypothesis means it may be a tentative explanation. Tentative means that's why we are just predicting, no? Tentative explanation, no? Statement regarding the population parameters. Population parameters means population values. Earlier also I explained that what is the importance of performing those hypothesis testing to make some conclusion regarding the population values. So therefore, using the hypothesis testing, you can make the conclusion regarding population values. So when you are constructing the hypothesis also, there are two hypotheses. No, what are those? Mainly, there are various type of hypotheses, but when you are considering the hypothesis testing, mainly you should construct two hypotheses. What are those?
Null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis.
Yeah, very good. Null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. And another thing, when you are considering those hypotheses also, it may be sometimes it's vary according to the testing. Okay. Today, actually, I will discuss a few most important testing related to the analysis. In that case, when I am explaining each testing, please try to understand what is the purpose of that test. That's the important thing, and as well as how to make the hypothesis related to that one. And after performing that test, what kind of conclusion you can make, like those some basic informations you should be familiar, and as well as what is the nature of variables you can use for those testing, like that. Those basic information please try to understand, because when you prepare the proposal, no need to do the analysis. You should just describe your analysis. What is the test and what are the hypotheses, like that. Okay. I am explaining regarding those hypotheses, two hypotheses, null and alternative hypotheses. Some hypotheses may be related to one variable, some hypotheses may be related to two or more than two variables. Okay, when you go for the testing, you can understand. Okay. And another thing, when you are considering like hypothesis testing, parametric test and non-parametric test like that. You can we can divide into two, parametric test and non-parametric test like that. When you are considering, this is the hypothesis, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. When you are considering this hypothesis testing, we can mainly divide as parametric and non-parametric test. Actually, if you can go for the parametric test, it is most precise one, because I will just explain what is the difference between parametric test and the non-parametric test. We are commonly using this parametric test. When you are considering parametric test means our considered variable should be normally distribute. So if it is normally distribute, then we can go for the parametric test. If it is not, there may be some non-parametric test also, but most of the cases, most of the variables are normally distribute, and then you can perform this parametric test. If it is not, you can go for the non-parametric test. So when we are considering, I just in simply explain what you mean by the normally distribute, because it also you need some basic knowledge regarding the statistic, but I just in here, I just explain what do you mean by normally distribute. Because when you are plot the data, it means, as example, when you are considering particular variable as weight, okay, your considered variable is weight. So then you should take weight values here. Sorry, yeah, sorry, weight values here. Sorry, weight values in x-axis and its frequency in the y-axis. Okay, so when you plot that one, if it is like this kind of shape, this shape we called as a bell shape. Okay, bell shape. In research 2, we will discuss more regarding that one. Until when you consider this one, I want to explain what do you mean by the normal distribute. Normal distribute means when you are considering a particular variable, when you plot that one, that data set, if you can just get the bell-shaped curve, we call it as a normally distribute. When you're considering another variable, it may be distribute like this, and it may be like this kind of curve, or it may be distribute like this kind of shape. So if it is like this, those are not normally distribute. Actually, not only using the graph or the curve, there are several testing for identifying whether your data is normally distributed or not, like that. Okay, I'm not discussing here. But I just to explain what is the difference between parametric and non-parametric test. Parametric test means if a variable is normally distributed, then you can go for the parametric test. Parametric tests are T, ANOVA, regressions, correlations. Today I simply explain those testing. Related to that one, there are some non-parametric tests also, Kruskal, Weiss, Wilcox and Ransom, like that. But when you refer the literatures also, you can find that most of the cases you can conduct those parametric tests. So I just mainly discussed regarding here regarding the parametric test. Okay, so we will continue the session. First one is chi-square test. Do you know what you mean by the chi-square previously? Do you have any experience with how to conduct the chi-square and what is the purpose of chi-square, like that? Anyone? Chi-square test. Yes or no? When you're considering particular project or any other event, do you have experience with chi-square?
No, madam.
Okay, so I just explain in very simple way. In each testing, again, I want to highlight, when you are considering each testing, please try to understand what is the purpose of conducting that one. And what is the nature of variable? It means what kind of variable you should select and how to construct the hypothesis. Those are the main things you should understand. Then only when you are according to your data set, you can decide whether you are performing chi-square or any other testing like that. Okay. So just therefore, first I will explain what is the purpose of conducting chi-square. Okay. Uh, to find out, it means if there is two categorical variables, and if you want to find out the relationship or the association between those two categorical variables, you can perform the chi-square. That's the purpose of chi-square. Okay. So I will explain what you mean by the categorical variable, because first you should understand the nature of those variables also. Okay. Um, when you are considering categorical variables means that variables you can define only using their categories. The main characteristic of that variables are categories. Okay. It means when you are considering according to the scales of measurements, there are four type of variables we can find. In that case, the two categories are like nominal and ordinal like that. The nominal variables means that variable, that group has only the categories. Ordinal means that category has categories as well as those categories we can put into particular order. As example, when you are considering gender, uh, you can identify two categories. No, what are those? Related to the gender, what are the two categories we can identify? Gender. When you are considering gender, yeah, very male and female. No, so can you not the physiologically or any other purpose related to the statistically when you are referring their names, female and male, can we arrange uh, as a meaningful order? It means male, female. Can you arrange those two categories? There are two categories, male category and female like that. No, can you arrange into meaningful order? Is it possible? Meaningful order means male first, female second, or female first, male second. Is there? Can't, no, because by just referring the naming, because in generally you may think that females, when you are referring their physiological and psychological conditions, you can understand some differences. That's why we make as females and males, no. But statistically, when you are referring their male and female category, you can't find any order. So therefore, it belongs to the nominal like that. Okay. And ordinal means when you are considering job satisfaction or job satisfaction, we can identify few categories. No, mild satisfaction, moderate, and good like that. Okay. If you it you can decide it may be three categories or four categories like that, but in generally if you get as mild category, mild satisfaction, moderate and good, or like that, so then when you are referring those categories, can you arrange into meaningful order? Is it possible? In previous case, male, female. In here, mild, moderate, and good. So when you're considering those categories, can we arrange into meaningful order those three categories? And as well as when you're considering the disease severity, another example, when you're considering the some disease severity as stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4 like that. If you're considering a particular disease and when you're considering its severity as 1 to 4 like that, so can you arrange into meaningful order? Meaningful order
Can.
means, yeah, can, no? Meaningful
Can.
order means, yeah, small to largest or just to smallest like that. So that kind of animal. So when you are considering this one also, mild is somewhat lesser than moderate, and good means it is better than other two categories. So we can put into the order. So that kind of variables we called as the ordinal. So anyhow, when we are considering the variables, if you can identify categories, some variables it can represent with the meaningful order. How category chi-square means the variable it should be consist with some category. So that kind of variables you can use for the chi-square test. So first you should understand what is the nature of your variables. Okay, when you go for the example, easily you can understand further. So you should remember chi-square means you need categorical variables, because the purpose of main objective of chi-square is to find out the relationship or the association between two categorical variables. As example, if you have two categorical variables like variable A and variable B, those are two categorical variables. Then if you want to find out whether there is any association or relationship between A and B, then you can perform the chi-square test. So now, up to now, you have some basic idea regarding what is the purpose of conducting chi-square, and which kind of variables you can use for the chi-square test like that. Okay. So I will explain how to construct the hypothesis. Okay. When you are considering variable as A and B, so then I will explain what is your null hypothesis. Your null hypothesis is there is no association between, okay, there is no association between variable A and B. This is your null hypothesis. Okay. And your alternative hypothesis is there is an association. It means there is association between A and B like that. Okay, that's the nature of constructing hypothesis related to chi-square test. So I will give some example. So then please try to construct null and alternative hypothesis. My considered example is gender and smoking habit. Okay, so gender, is it a categorical variable? First, you should check those things. Okay, gender, is it a categorical variable? Now you have some basic idea regarding what you mean by the categorical variables. Gender,
No, ma'am.
gender, is it a categorical variable or no? What about others?
Yes.
Yes, no, because I think you mentioned as not a ordinal like that. Oh, what is the idea? Gender is a categorical, no? Categorical means it may be order or not, but if you can identify categories, it may be 2 or 3 or like that. It can vary, but only thing is, if you can identify categories related to the particular variable, that variables we define as categorical variable. Now, is it clear? Because gender means we can identify two categories, male and female. Then, is it a categorical or not? Categorical, no? Because you can clearly identify two categories. What about smoking habit? Is it a categorical or not? Smoking habit? If you are defining a particular variable as smoking habit, is it a categorical or not?
Categorical.
Categorical, no? Because smoking habit, mainly we can identify as two categories, smokers and non-smokers like that, no? Not always you should remember as two categories. Sometimes you may miss like this when you're considering this example. But earlier also I discussed that when you're considering disease severity, it can be stage 1, 2, 3 like that, no? There may be more than two categories. Anyhow, when you're performing the chi-square test, main requirement is your considered variable should be in the categorical form. Okay. So when you are considering this example, if there may be a particular objective in your research like this, uh, you want to assess that whether there is any association between gender and smoking habit. Okay, your objective is you want to assess that whether there is any association or the relationship between gender and smoking habit. So then now can you construct the hypothesis related to that objective? Because earlier I explained using the variable A and B. So based on that one, can you describe how to construct the hypothesis related to this example, gender and smoking habit? What is your null hypothesis? Because easily you can actually when you considering other than other testing, easily you can construct a hypothesis related to the chi-square because same way. Okay, as example, if there is two variables like C and D, then your objective is you want to assess that whether there is any association between C and D like that. Earlier I discussed regarding A and B. No? So in this case also your null hypothesis is there is no association between variable C and D. Your alternative hypothesis is there is an association between variable C and D. So based on that one, can you construct the null hypothesis related to this example? Your considered variables are gender and smoking habit. I think it's better if you can try, okay? Gender and smoking habit. Gender and smoking habit. Is it difficult to construct? First, you should understand what are the variables you are considering, and then you can construct, no? At least you can try. What is your null hypothesis? What is your null hypothesis? Okay, if you're considering variable A and B, what is your null hypothesis? If you want to find out whether there is an association between variable A and B, what is your null hypothesis? Earlier I mentioned, what is that? What is your null hypothesis?
There is no association
Yeah, there is no
between A
association
and B.
between A and B. So like this, can you construct the hypothesis related to this gender and smoking habit? You can just put related to A and B, gender and smoking. So then can you construct? Because always when you're constructing the hypothesis, you should be considered regarding your objective because you want to assess that whether there is a association between gender and smoking. So then how easily you can construct, no? You can just replace A and B from the gender and smoking. Now can you construct? Is it difficult?
Alternative.
Sorry?
There is no association, ma'am, between gender and smoking habit.
Yeah, very good. There is no association between gender and smoking. Very good. Okay. You can just replace. Okay. If you're considering, yeah, what is the alternative hypothesis related to this one? Alternative one. Related to the A and yeah.
There is association between
There is association
gender
between,
and smoking.
yeah, very good. Gender
Gender
and
and
smoking, no? Not to worry, you can just explain, okay? When you're considering here, when you are referring any other variables like gender and education level also, same way, okay? You have two categorical variables, and if you want to find out whether there is any association between those two categorical variables, then same way, okay? First, null hypothesis is there is no association between variable A and B. A may be gender, B may be smoking habit. A may be gender, B may be education level. It can be vary according to your research problem, okay? The alternative hypothesis is there is an association between gender and smoking habit or the variable A and B like that. Okay. So up to now, I just discussed regarding what is the purpose of conducting this chi-square and as well as which kind of variables you can use and how to construct the hypothesis like that. That basic knowledge is, I think, enough for explaining your data analysis part. Okay. Because when you're considering when you are treating the patients also, you know that uh, based on the nature of that patients, you can decide which test, no? As example, if you are treating for diabetic patients, you should perform the fasting blood sugar and random blood sugar like that testing, because it's based on the nature of patients, no? If you have a what do you call another like heart patients, when you are treating that patients, you should perform some different type of testing, no? Echo, ECGs like that, no? So like this in statistical, when you're considering statistics also, based on the nature of your data set and based on the objectives of your research, you should decide which test you use like that. Okay. So that's the main thing you should understand after completing this session, because in today I am not discussing regarding how to perform the chi-square and how to do the analysis and all the things, because in proposal actually what you should do, you should explain your analysis, which test you are using and how to construct those hypotheses and like that. Okay. So now I think you have some basic understanding regarding this chi-square test. Okay. So I will move to the next one, t-test. Okay. In here, I will explain some few testing. Okay. So t-test, I will explain what is the purpose of t-test and what kind of variables you can use for t-test and how to construct the hypothesis like that. Okay. So if you want to compare the two variables, not two variables, if you want to compare a one variable related to it means particular groups. Okay. So then if your considered variable should be in the numeric form, then only you can compare. Okay. As example, if you want to assess that there are two groups, group A and B like that, so then you want to compare like in this example, okay, when you're considering a t-test also, there are various options for t-test as one sample t-test and two sample t-test. First, I will explain what is the purpose of conducting one sample t-test. Actually, when you're considering one sample, two sample t-test, the main purpose is comparing a particular variable related to two groups. Okay, one sample t-test means when you are considering your sample, you can find it means you can find the average weight related to that sample. So then you should, if you want to compare with the population weight, okay, population weight, then using the one sample t-test, you can make the conclusion related to that one, whether the population mean and the sample mean is differ or not, like that. Okay. And as well as sometimes we are comparing with some hypothetical value also by sample and the particular hypothetical value. Okay, I just explain using the example, then other than my explanation, using the example you can easily understand. Okay, first I will explain regarding the one sample t-test. One sample t-test means the main purpose is there a difference between group and the population, like that. Okay, this is your sample or the group, and you want to compare with its population. Okay. So as example, you know that when you are considering the systolic blood pressure level, what is the normal systolic blood pressure level as a value, not as a range? When you are considering as a value, what is the normal systolic blood pressure level? What is the normal systolic blood pressure level as a value?
120
Yeah, 120 mercury
millimeter.
millimeters. Yeah. And another thing, when you are it is when you are preparing the proposal as well as when you are preparing the thesis also, all the variables, if there is a unit, you should clearly mention. Okay. As example, when you are considering the systolic blood pressure level, we measure using the mercury millimeters. No, if you are considering the weight of the patients, usually we are considering as a kilograms. No, and if you are considering height, you can decide whether you are entering data as a meters or as a centimeter. That's also very important. Okay, when you are defining the variable, you should remember that one also to mention its unit. Okay. And when you are considering here 120 mercury millimeters, we are considering as normal systolic blood pressure level. So if you want to check that whether the individuals in you are considering as clinic X, okay, your objective is you want to check that whether the individuals in clinic X have whether they have normal systolic blood pressure or not, like that. Okay, there is a clinic. Okay, there is a clinic as X. So then it may be diabetic or any other clinic. So I just define as X, clinic X. So then your objective is you want to check that whether the individuals in clinic X average or the mean systolic blood pressure level is equal to 120 or not. That's your objective. Okay, so then you should construct null hypothesis as well as alternative hypothesis. Now you have some basic understand regarding in which kind of occasions you can use this one sample t-test, like that. No, because you have a particular sample and you have a particular population. So then you want to check that whether the population mean is equal as your considered or standard mean value, like that. So I explain how to construct the null and alternative hypothesis related to this one sample t-test. Okay. When you refer in our example is you want to check that whether the individuals in clinic X have normal the average systolic blood pressure level of the individuals in clinics X is equal to 120 or not. Okay. So then your null hypothesis is like this, mu. Okay. I will explain all the terms. Mu is equal to 120 mercury millimeters. It means mu means mean systolic blood pressure level of the clinic X. Mu means mean systolic blood pressure level of the clinic X. And then your alternative hypothesis is mu is unequal 120 mercury millimeters. So then after there are various way to construct the null and alternative hypothesis. It means if you are considering numeric variables in this format also okay, okay, like this, and as well as you can mention as a statement also. I will explain how to construct it as a statement. Okay, the first first, not the first. Null hypothesis is mu is equal to, you can put a particular comma, and mu is equal to 120 mercury millimeters. Alternative hypothesis is mu is unequal. This sign we called as unequal. Mu is unequal to the 120 mercury millimeters. If you want to make it as a statement, I will explain. Your null hypothesis is there is no difference between mean systolic blood pressure level of individual in the clinic X and normal systolic blood pressure level. Okay. Then the alternative hypothesis is there is a statistically significant difference between mean systolic blood pressure level of the individuals in clinic X and normal systolic blood pressure level. Okay. Because this one is not equal. Sorry, this one is equal. Equal, no difference. Unequal means there is a difference like that. So that's the way of constructing null and alternative hypothesis related to the one sample t-test. Okay. When you are considering the one sample t-test, you can be consider only the numeric variables, because numeric means like weight, height, because we are comparing the mean value, no, or the average value. So to find the average or the mean value, you need numeric variables. Okay, then only you can find the mean, no, because mean means you should add all the values. As example, when you are considering, I will explain how to find the mean value in this clinic X. If you are considering particular group, then if you want to find out the mean systolic blood pressure level, how to find that one, you should add all the systolic blood pressure levels in that group, and it should be divided by number of individuals, no. So then you can be consider only the numeric variables. Okay. Is it clear regarding the one sample t-test before moving to the two sample case? Is it clear? In here also, I am not discussing how to do the analysis related to the one sample t-test. In here also, you should understand what is the purpose, or in which occasions we can use this test, and as well as what is the nature of your variables and how to construct the hypothesis. Those are the main things. Okay. Like as example, when you are considering fasting blood sugar level test also, you should know first what is the purpose, no? And I am not discussing how to perform that one. I just discuss only what is the purpose of like that. Okay. So when you move to the next one, then you can again you can compare with one sample and the other sample, two sample test also. You can get some understanding. If there is any problem, please ask now. Okay. When you are considering a two sample test, there are two types. Okay. One sample test, and as well as if you have two samples, we called it as a two sample t-test. And two sample t-test also, there are two types: independent sample t-test and the dependent sample t-test. So I will explain what is the difference between those testing. Actually, after completing this session, you should clearly understand what are the differences between each testing. Okay. Between chi-square and the one sample, and one sample t-test and the independent sample, like that, those differences you should clearly understand. Then only based on your data set as well as your objectives, you can define suitable test for your analysis like that. Okay. So when we consider in the independent sample t-test, another term for independent sample t-test is pool t-test. Okay. When you refer the literature, sometimes you can find as this term, okay, pool t-test, or sometimes as a independent sample t-test. So first I will explain what do you mean by the independent samples. Okay. Independent sample means this is your sample, first sample, and this is the second sample. Okay. If it is independent samples, if you are considering this person as A, if you denote A, B, this one as C, then can you find a person in sample second also? Is it possible? If the first and second sample are independent, my question is, can you find person A in the second sample? Is it possible or not?
Possible, ma'am.
Possible. Okay. What about others? Because if you can understand, independent means what? Independent means it's it can stand alone, no? Like it doesn't depend on other one. So if it is that, if the first you have two samples, first one and second one, if the first sample is independent from second sample, so then person A can, my question is, can A person present in the second sample also? Your answer is as yes, no? What about others? Yes or no? What about others?
No.
No.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, I think no, because independent means those samples are separate samples, okay, not dependent. As example, when you, I will explain using the example, then easily you can understand why it will be not only the A person, when you are considering B person also, not in the second sample. As example, if you take female sample and male sample like that, okay, if you take female group and male group, as example, if there is a person called X, okay, so then now can A present in the second, this is the first sample and this is the second sample, can A person present in the second sample? Is it possible now? First sample means female ones, second sample means male sample. So my question is, if there is a person as A in the first sample, can A present in the second sample also?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Now you can understand, no, what do you mean by the independent samples. Easily you can understand. A means definitely that individual should be a female, no? So if it is a female person, so she can't present in the male sample. Definitely you can, now you can understand, no? Can you give another example for that kind of independent samples? Now you can please clearly understand what you mean by the independent. Now can you give another example for independent samples? Male, common example is female and male sample. What are the other examples you can get? Using your practice also in the ward settings, and as a, so you can get some examples, no? Okay, what about the patients in the medical ward and the patients in the surgical ward at same time period? What is your idea regarding that one? You are considering a 1 week, you are getting sample, you are considering patients in the medical ward as a sample and patients in the surgical ward. Is it a independent or dependent? It means you are considering 1 week like that, okay? Within 5 days like that. 5 or we can take as 2 days that. Very short time period you are considering. During that period, you take two samples, patients in the medical ward. Means you are picking the individuals from medical ward as first sample, patients in the medical ward. The second sample is patients in the medical ward. I just asked, is it a dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent, ma'am.
Independent, no? Because what is the reason? Because when we are considering very short time, that's why I put as a short time period. Because when you are considering particular patient, if she or he admitted to the medical ward within 2 days, she will be she or he in the medical. After times after diagnosis, sometimes she get admitted into the surgical ward. But when you are that's why I put very short time period. Because if we are admitting into the hospital related to the medical conditions, we belongs to the medical wards. And if you are admitting into the surgical conditions, we are in the surgical ward. So then one patient can't present in both wards at same time period, no? So that's why we consider it as a independent sample. So I think now you have some better understanding regarding what do you mean by the independent samples. If you have that kind of occasions, it means if you have two independent samples, and then if you want to compare the mean weight related to their those two groups, it means as example, if you are considering females and if you are considering males, then you have a particular question whether the mean weight of females and males are equal or not, like that, whether it is different or not, like that. So then you can construct null and alternative hypothesis related to this one, like this. Null hypothesis is mu, if you are considering female as mu f, is equal to mu m. It means mean weight of those two groups are equal. Okay, that's your null hypothesis. And our alternative hypothesis is mu f is unequal to the mu m, like that. Okay, easily you can construct, because null hypothesis always represent that there is a no difference. It's equal, like that. When you're comparing two groups, null hypothesis represent that there is a no difference. If there is a no difference means it should be equal, no? Alternative hypothesis represent that there is a difference. If there is a difference, those two mean values are not equal. As a using these symbols also you can construct hypothesis. If you are constructing like this manner, below the hypothesis you should mention what are the terms related to mu f means mean weight of the uh, females. Mu m means mean weight of the males, like that. Those terms you should clearly define. Or you can mention as a statement. I will explain here. The null hypothesis is there is no mean difference of weight between female group and the male group. That's your null hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis, there is a significant statistical difference between mean weight between female and male groups, like that. So here also you are considering only one variable, weight. It's a numeric one. And then you have two samples. Those two samples independence. So then you can perform the independent sample t-test or the pool t-test. Okay. So I will move to the next one. When you go for the dependent also, you can differentiate what do you mean by the one sample t-test, what do you mean by the pool t-test, and what do you mean by the dependent sample t-test, like that. Okay. Now you can understand, because when you compare with what is the difference between one sample t-test and the two independent sample t-test, what is the main difference? Up to now, we discuss only two t-tests, no? One sample and independent sample t-test. What is the main difference between those two tests? What is the main difference? Those are the things you should understand. Okay, then only you can decide which test is suitable for your analysis, like that. What is the difference between one sample t-test and the independent sample t-test? What is the main difference? Easily you can understand. Using the term also you can understand at least. What is the difference? What is the difference? Anyone?
One sample mean there is only one group. Two
Yeah,
sample test mean there is two groups,
yeah, very good. Two
independent
groups
two
mean,
groups,
yeah, independent two samples are there. Very good.
two
Okay.
sample.
One sample t-test, you have only one sample. But in independent sampled t-test means you have two independent samples. That's the main difference. Those things you should understand. Then only you can decide which test is suitable for your data as well as your objectives. As you practice also, earlier also I explained that when you are treating the diabetic patient and when you are treating the heart patients, or when you are treating the asthma patients, based on the nature of patients, you should decide which test you should perform like them. So same way, when you are considering in here also, based on your or the nature of your data set as well as your research objectives, you should decide which test is suitable like that. Okay. So I will move to the next one. Dependent sample t-test. Okay. Dependent sample t-test we called as the paired sample t-test. Okay. When you refer the literatures, if you find it as paired or dependent sample, same test. Okay. So in here, I will explain what do you mean by the paired samples. Okay. Using the term also, you can get some, always you can understand each testing paired. Okay. Or the dependent. Actually, when we are considering this one, you have only one sample, but using some interventions, we can make two samples. Okay. Actually, you can't find two samples. You have only when you are related to the individuals, you have only one samples. But using some intervention, you create two samples. I will explain using the example. This is your first sample, and this is your second sample. Okay. When we're considering related to this one, if you denote this person as A, B, C like that, if it is a paired sample or if it is a dependent sample, my question is, can A individual present in second sample also? Is it possible or not? If it is dependent.
Yes, it is
Yes,
possible, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, no? So very good. Now I think you have a better understanding regarding those dependent samples and the independent sample. Definitely, a person can present in the second sample also. Okay, but individually, because first sample also A, B, C, second sample also A, B, C. Individually, when you are referring that one, we have only one sample. Using a particular intervention, we create the two sample. I just explained. You can find here is there is a difference between groups between a 2 point in time. I will explain what you mean by that one. As example, when you are considering a particular new drug, okay? If you are considering a particular new drug for assessing its effectiveness, as example, if you are considering for diabetes, when you are considering a particular type of insulin. So then if you want to assess that whether there is a effect of that insulin like that. So in this case, when you're considering your first sample is, you can measure their blood sugar level. Okay. You can measure their blood sugar level before administering the that insulin. That's your first sample. Okay. You are measuring your considered variable is blood sugar level. How to measure that one before administering the insulin. Your second sample is again blood sugar level after administering the insulin. Okay, that's why we are considering as 2 point in time. It means you are considering same variable as blood sugar level. The first sample, how to get the first sample before administering the insulin, you measure their blood sugar level. Same individuals, no? You take a particular group. It may be uh, diabetic patients or not. Yes, definitely diabetic patients. No, you are taking particular group of diabetic patients. So then, how to make the first sample? You can measure their blood pressure level, sorry, sugar level before administering the insulin. Then your intervention is you administer the insulin, and after 1 or 2 hours, based on its action, you can decide the time period, time duration. After 2 or 1.5 hours, again you measure their blood sugar level. This is the second sample. So when you considering those two measurements, it depends on same individual, no? Because when you considering the first reading is uh, blood sugar level related to the person A before administering the insulin. The second sample also blood sugar level after administering the insulin related to the person A. So that's why we called it as a dependent samples. Can you give some another example related to that kind of dependent samples? Now you have some basic idea, no? Because actually there is only one sample. Using a particular intervention, you can create two samples. But can you give another example? Can you give another example?
Okay, madam.
Okay, another example you can get not always administering. You can share their blood sugar level before, as example, if you are feeding a particular food for the diabetic patients, before feeding that food, you can measure their blood sugar level and you can feed them with the same diet. And after that, you can measure their blood sugar level. Okay, so that's also dependent samples. Okay, like that, you can be think of various examples. So if you have dependent samples, that's the way of it means if you have independent samples, to perform independent sample t-test. If you have dependent samples, you should perform the dependent sample t-test. Okay, so when you are considering here, null hypothesis is mu d is equal 0 and mu d is unequal to the 0, like that. It means you are comparing two groups. So then mu d means mean difference between two groups are 0, like that. It means there is no effect of that drug, like that. And mu d is unequal to 0 means there is a effect of that drug. Okay, in research 2, I will discuss more details with those testing. It means how to do the analysis as well as how to interpret the results. But in here, you should understand at least what is the purpose of conducting that one. Then you can define, because in proposal you should mention which test you are using for your analysis, like that. So then if you have clear understanding regarding those testing, you can mention which test is suitable for your analysis, like that. Up to now we discussed about 4 tests, no, chi-square and 1 sample t-test, 2 sample independent t-test, and 2 dependent sample t-test, like that. Okay, so I will move to the next one. ANOVA test. It is also another type. So when we considering ANOVA also, there are various, it means one-way ANOVA, two-way ANOVA, like that. In here, I am discussing regarding, because this module is related to basic statistics and all that. So then I will discuss regarding the one-way ANOVA and what is the purpose of conducting that one, and how to construct the null and alternative hypothesis, and which kind of variables we can use, like that. Okay. So up to now, when you are comparing groups, how many groups we can compare? Up to how many groups we can compare based on previous testing? How many groups we can compare?
Two groups.
Yeah,
Two
very good.
groups
Two
only.
groups, no? Yeah, two groups. So then, if you have more than two groups, so then you can go for the ANOVA test, okay? Like this. Yeah. Here you have three groups, no? It may be three or more than three. So when we considering, if you want to compare a particular variable related to more than two groups, okay? Three or more than three, then you can apply ANOVA test, okay? As example, if you want to compare the mean weight of uh, grade one children's related to this is the we can consider as area X. You are considering three areas, okay? Area X, area Y, and area Z like that. You are taking children's from related to grade one from three areas. Then you want to assess that whether their average weight is differ or not, okay? It means, as example, if it is, if you're finding as those average weight is as same, then their nutrition level like that you can be considered further. But in here, using the ANOVA, you can get some idea regarding whether their mean weight is differ or not. No. So then, when you are considering here, your objective is you want to compare mean weight of grade 1 students related to X, Y, and Z. Okay. So then early we construct it means to related to the two sample t test also we construct null and alternative hypothesis, no? So same way you can construct null and alternative hypothesis related to the ANOVA also, but alternative hypothesis there is only one difference. I will explain that one. Related to the null hypothesis, how to construct the null hypothesis related to this ANOVA test. Null hypothesis, I think if you can construct by yourself, it's better. Because another thing, okay, when you are considering this here, what is the nature of those samples or the groups? Is it independent or dependent? As example, if you are considering three villages, okay, this example you are considering three villages. You are picking the students from three villages, X village X, village Y, Z like that. So my question is, these three groups are independent or not? Those three groups are independent or not?
Independent.
Independent, no? Very good. Because if a particular children belongs to particular village means she or he can't present in another village, no? So then definitely it's a independent. So when you are considering ANOVA testing, the nature of samples are independent samples, okay? Because we are considering three or more, so those samples are independent samples. So my question is, your objective is you want to assess that you want to compare mean weight of grade 1 students in area X, Y, and Z. So how to construct null hypothesis related to this one? Null hypothesis. Null hypothesis. Always based on your objective, you can create. Because you want to assess that whether there is any mean difference between X, Y, and Z. So then what is your null hypothesis?
There is no association.
Now, do you,
Baby.
yeah, you can mention as association also. Yeah, what is the yeah? Can you explain what is the null hypothesis?
There is no association about weight between group X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, so also possible, but other than that one, when you are considering mean value, no, you can mention like that manner also. But other than that one, this way is very precise one. It means you can mention like this: there is no difference of mean weight of grade one individuals in between area X, Y, and Z. Okay, it means your null hypothesis is when you compare those three X, Y, and Z groups, there is a no mean difference between mean difference of weight. Okay, so what is your alternative hypothesis? Alternative hypothesis is there is a difference like that, no? But in this case, because when you're considering, it is very similar as independent sample t-test, okay? Independent sample t-test also we mention like mu1 is equal mu2. This is your null hypothesis. Your alternative hypothesis is mu1 unequal mu2 like that, no? But in here, uh, you are considering three groups. Your null hypothesis is mu1 is equal as a symbols. If you are considering mu1 like that, then your null hypothesis is mu1 is equal, mu2 is equal, mu3, your null hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis, you can mention as mu1 is unequal, mu2 is unequal, mu3 like that, no. But in here, there is a small difference. Your alternative hypothesis, you should mention as at least one of the area mean weight is different from other like that, at least one. Okay, not all the three are different like that. You can mention as at least one of the mean weight of related to area can be differ from others like that. Okay, uh, because at least one means what, mu1 may be equal to mu2 and it may be unequal to the mu3. That's why we mention as at least one may be unequal. Sometimes mu1 is unequal to the mu2. It may be equal to the mu3. Another option is mu1 unequal to mu2, unequal to mu3. That can be happen. So therefore, that's why we mention at least one of the area mean weight is different from others like that. Okay. That's the way of constructing hypothesis related to the one-way ANOVA. One-way ANOVA means we are considering only one variable as weight. If you are considering two variables, you can go for the two-way ANOVA. It is somewhat not advanced, but in here we are just discussing some few testing only to give some basic idea regarding how to perform those. In here, actually, I am discussing all the main or commonly we are using some testing. No? So those testing I am discussing. Up to now, we discuss chi-square, one sample t-test, two sample paired, and ANOVA test. So every testing you should understand mainly in which occasions we can use and what is the nature of variables like that. Okay. So I will move to the next one. And another thing, sometimes this is the first experience of this testing and all that. No, sometimes you can't understand clearly. Not all the students, some may be, but no need to worry. If you need further details, and you can get help from the literatures also. No, when you refer, it means when you are considering your research, you are considering particular research problem, then you can refer the same research articles related to your research problem, then you can get some better guidelines from which test they are using for to evaluate those objectives like that. Those things you can get from literatures as well as from your supervisors also. But in here, um, within this short, we have only limited sessions, no, about 6 and all that. So during that one, we should discuss regarding all the content in your proposal. So then I hope to give some brief idea regarding each testing, how to differentiate. Okay. So I will move to the next one, correlations. Um, so I just explain in simply correlations. Correlations means using the correlations, you can explain the strength and the directions of especially linear relationship between two variables. Okay, in here also two variables means those are in the numeric form. Okay, like weight, height, like that. Then only we consider these correlations. In here, the correlations means using that test, you try to explain strength and the directions. I will explain what do you mean by strength and the directions. As example, if you are considering two variables like x and y, okay, you are considering two variables as x and y. So then the strength means how the relationship, what is the it means the degree of powerfulness of that relationship, that is strength. Okay, and the direction means whether it is a negative relationship or whether it is a positive relationship, like that. Okay, in simply when you are I will explain in simply using another example, not statistically. When you are considering your among your friends also, you know that as example, when you're considering a particular group, this is you. Okay, and there are a few individuals like A, B, C, D, like that. So in this case, when you're considering you and the relationship between D, person D, C, B, and like A, like that, no. So in this case, consider those as friends, as well as some individuals are as not your friends, like that. So the positive relationship means we are considering as a friends, like that. Okay, so then this one may be friend. So then we consider it as a positive, because positive means when you are uh, believing some attitudes and all that, that your friends also have same feelings or attitudes, no. So the B also your friend, but C also your friend, and C may be not sorry, D may be not your friend. Okay, because it is opposite side. So that's the what do you mean by direction, whether it is a positive relationship or negative relationships, like that. And the strength means how it's powerful. It means, you know, that when you are considering among those three friends and you uh, do you have same friendship in between A, B, C? Is it same, or can you see any difference? It means, as example, when you're considering you and your between your friends, do you have same uh, kind of friendship with all the friends, or is it differ or same? What is your idea? What is the nature of friendship? It means when you're taking your friends as A, B, C, like that, um, do you have same kind of friendship with A, B, C, or is it differ or not? What is your idea? In generally,
Same.
sorry,
Same.
same. It means with 5 friends, is it same or not? Among the 5, it means 5, or as example, if you have 10, yes, sorry.
No, man.
No, because
No,
when you're
no.
considering, because that's why we mention as she is my best friend, and next one also my best friend, and next one is my friend, like that, no, because it based on your friendship, no. Is it clear now? Because when you are considering a few individuals and their relationships, it's not same, no. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we have best friends and all that, no? So like that. So in correlations also, we are considering as strength means how it's powerful. Okay, so using the correlation test, we can measure the relationship between variable x and y, like that, how it's powerful, and as well as what is the direction, whether it is positive or negative. So I will further discuss after interval. Shall we take a break, 15 minutes?
Okay, ma'am.
I will continue 10:45. Okay. Okay, shall we continue the session? Are you ready? Shall we continue now? Are you ready?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so we are discussing regarding the correlations. I just explained when you are considering the correlations, there is equation for calculating the correlations, and as well as there are few correlations, Pearsons and all that. But I just in here I will give some idea regarding what do you mean by this correlations and what is the importance of that one, like that. Pearson's. Kendalls and like that there are several correlation coefficients. When you're considering as a summary, when correlation means using that correlations, we can measure the strength and directions related to two variables. When you're considering, I think I earlier explained that what do you mean by positive correlation. No, if there is a positive correlations, yeah, if there is a positive correlation in between two variables, you can find this kind of plot. It means after plotting the values of that variables, as this is the x variable and this is the y variable, like that. So when you plot that data set, it will you can identify this kind of trend line also. This is we called as a positive correlation. Positive correlation means you can be remember like this, the correlation between you and your friend. Okay, because you and your friend means always, it means when you are increasing the x variable, y also increasing. When you're decreasing the x variable, y also decreasing. Means both variables behave in same direction, increasing, decreasing, like that. When you think about you and your friends also same way, no, it means when you are doing try to do something, you and your friends do in same way, no, like you have some positive attitudes and like that, you behave in same way. So like that, that's kind of relationship we mention as positive correlations. Negative means when you are increasing the x variable, y decrease. When you are decreasing the x will increase. Sorry, y will increase, like that. It means both variables behave in opposite directions. It's like you and your enemy, like that, no? So like that, you can be remember like that manner. Okay, related to your day-to-day life also, you can find that kind of relationship. But statistically, um, if the two variables behave in both same direction, we identify it as a positive relationship. And if it is in the opposite direction, we call it as a negative correlations, like that. If you can't identify any correlation, we just mention as a no correlation. If you plot that data set, it will be appear like this. So anyhow, when we considering the correlations also, you are considering two continuous or the numeric variables, then only you can find these correlations. And how to construct the null and alternative hypothesis related to this correlation coefficients also. Null hypothesis is there is no correlation between variable a and b. Okay, it can be a, may be weight, height, like that you can be think about. Okay, so the alternative hypothesis is there is a correlation between variable a and b, like that. Okay, um, you can consider like this: a may be height and b may be weight, like that. So then if you are considering those two variables, your null hypothesis is there is no correlation between height and weight, and there is a correlation between height and weight, alternative one. So like that, if you want to find out that kind of correlation between two variables using the correlation coefficients, you can uh, make the conclusion using this correlation coefficients. Okay, so I will move to the another testing as regression. Actually, the regression means it's like another module and like that, because regression means there are various ways of regression types. But in here, I just simply explain what you mean by the regression, what is the main purpose of conducting regression, and as well as what are the types of regression like that. Okay. Um, when you consider in the regression analysis, there are two main purposes in regression analysis, because you know that when you're considering chi-square, what is the main purpose of conducting chi-square? Can you remember that one? Chi-square. What is the main purpose of chi-square? It is very common and very basic test. Everyone can easily conduct and makes very nice conclusions. What is the main purpose of chi-square? Or in which occasions we can use chi-square like that?
Categorical variable.
That is the nature of variables. Yeah. In which occasion means if you have categorical variables, you can use this chi-square. What is the objective? What is the purpose of conducting chi-square? What is the objective? Because each testing, you should familiar with the objective or the purpose of that test. What is the purpose or the objective, main objective of conducting chi-square? Okay. Chi-square test we use to identify whether there is any association between two categorical variables. No, so that's the main purpose of conducting chi-square. Other testing also I just explained. So like that, when we consider regression also, regression main purpose, there are two main purpose. It means to estimate the parameters in linear equations. So the like that, it means when you are considering like I just explained in a very simply way, if you have few variables, okay, like A, B, C, and D like that. Okay. So then when you're considering in your research also, you can find a lot of variables. No. So among them, some variables are independent. No. And some variables may be dependent variables like that. No. So then as example, your D is dependent variable, A, B, C are independent variables. So then if you want to find out whether there is any association between independent and dependent variable, what is the association like that? So that kind of associations you can find using the regression analysis. Okay. It means mainly to identify the relationship between independent and dependent variable and independent variables. Usually you have few independent variables and you have only one or two dependent variables. Okay. And that's the what you mean by to estimate the parameters in linear equations like that. Okay. So then next purpose is to predict the dependent variable, because in regression you should be consider dependent variables as well as independent variables. First one is to identify the relationship between these independent and dependent variables. Next purpose is to predict the dependent variable. Okay, those are the main purposes in regression analysis. Although we list out like this in very simply way, when you go for the analysis, it is somewhat advanced analysis. And also another thing is not like chi-square and all that, not actual advanced, but the regression means it's like a module. No, I early mentioned there are various regression methods and all that, and there are some assumptions you should check and all that. So when we consider in the I just explained what you mean by predict dependent variable. It is also advanced analysis. Predict means you know that in simply when you consider rainfall pattern, okay, you can just list out or collect the previous rainfall pattern, and you can predict future. It means we are in the 2025, then you can predict the 2026 what will be the rainfall pattern. So that's the what you mean by data prediction. Not only the rainfall, when you are considering in your case also dengue patients, if the particular variable is seasonally changed, so that kind of occasions we can predict using the regression analysis. Those are the main papers of regression analysis. Um, most of the cases, other than this data prediction, because data prediction, if you go for the prediction, you should be consider all the affect independent variables and all that. Other than that one, most of the cases, we use the first purpose. It means to identify the relationship between independent and dependent variables. So another thing, when we are considering the regression, there are several regression methods: simple linear regression, multiple linear regression, logistics, like that. There are various ones. In simply, mainly we are using this multiple linear regression. I just in simply explain those three methods. Basically, simple linear means you have only one dependent and you have only one independent variable. In multiple linear means you have only one dependent variable more than one independent variables. Okay. The When we considering simple linear regression and the multiple linear regression, your dependent variables is in the continuous form or the numeric way. And the logistic regression means your dependent variable is in the categorical form, like that. Okay. So that's I early explained in research 2. I just further explain regarding this regression. Up to now, you have some basic idea what is the main purpose of regression, to identify the relationship between your dependent variables and the independent variables. There are several equations, so that regression also I am not discussing here. And there are various methods. Simple linear means if you are considering only one dependent and one independent, that's simple linear regression. Multiple means you have only one you have only one dependent, independence more than one. Logistic regression means dependent variables is in the categorical form, like that. Okay. In simply, when you are considering simple linear regression, if you apply simple linear regression, your null hypothesis is there is no association between variable x and y. Alternative one is there is association between x and y, like that. Okay. There are some coefficients and all that. Anyhow, at least you can get some basic idea regarding what is the purpose of regression. I think it's enough. If you are applying the regression, you can further refer the literatures and you can get some idea. But most of the cases, what will be happen, students will apply this regression. It's okay, but you should be familiar, okay? Because other than regression also good and other testing also good, because some students think that go for the advanced analysis only, we can make the nice conclusions. But other than that one, using some simple testing also, you can make the nice conclusion. Only thing is the way you think. Okay. It means how to make the objectives and how to, it means when you are considering, uh, when you are try to interpret the results, the way you plan all the things, it depends on the your final conclusion. So therefore, no need to always go for some advanced analysis and all that, because some students think like that manner. When you go for the advanced analysis only, you can create very successful research. Other than that one, using simple testing also, you can do a big difference. But the thing depends on you. Okay. So please be remember that one also, because when you are applying any testing, you should be familiar that one. Then only you can interpret and you can get some it means because when you go for proposal presentations or the thesis presentation, so when you are explaining to other persons after completing your research, if you have no idea regarding which method you are using or what are the how many variables in your research, like that, it is useless, no? Because some students, when they go for their thesis presentations also, at least they don't know how many variables are in their research. So if it is like that, it is useless, no? So please be remember that one. When you apply any analysis method, please try to be familiar. It may be new to you, but step by step you can be familiar. Okay. Because you are using two or one testing for your analysis, no? So then you can just refer and you can get more knowledge regarding that one. In this session, I just give some brief introduction only. Okay. How to differentiate those testing. So I will move to the next one. It means up to now I just discussed regarding the it means quantitative data analysis. Okay. Most of the cases we are using this quantitative data analysis. When you go for that one, you can apply those testing. If you go for the qualitative data analysis, also there are several methods. I just list out main analysis method as thematic analysis. Okay. Um, the thematic analysis means actually what we do, I just summarize like this. There are several steps also. If you are using the qualitative data, then you can coded those data and finally you can find the themes. So that's the what you mean by in simply thematic analysis. So when we consider in the thematic analysis also, there are several steps like familiarization, transcription, organization, coding, like that. Okay, I just simply explain. Actually, familiarization means after collecting qualitative data, you should be familiar. It means, as example, you know that when you are collecting the data related to the qualitative, it means, as example, always I just discussed regarding the behavior patterns of depression patients like that. No? So then the behavior pattern, if it is possible ethically, I don't know if you can ethically get approval, you can just observe those depression patients also, no? And you can go for some interviews as well as you can observe their behavior pattern. So familiarization means after collecting those data, it may be in the videos, so it may be in the audio recordings like that. No, the familiarization means you should watch those videos as if it is in the audios, you should listen like that. You should familiar those after getting those data, you should refer. That's the what you mean by first step as familiarization. The next one is transcription. Transcription means after familiar with those videos and audios, then you should process of converting audios or videos recorded data into handwritten notes. It means verbatim in forms. It means because you can't analyze by always watching the videos or hearing to the audios. No, so then those things you should just write down. Okay, write down and you can get as a printout, so like that. So that's the what you mean by transcription steps. And organization means, next one, the process of arranging data into the section that is easy to retrieve. Name, other identifiable data should be removed, because you know that when you are referring the recording, sometimes you can get their names and addresses and all that. Those identifiable data you should remove from your data set. And organization means remove the identifiable data and arrange other data into logical order. Okay. Sometimes the data or the content should be numbered and like that, word level, sentence level, like that. You can just numbered or like that. So that's the what you mean by organization. The next step is the important one, coding. Okay. Coding means the process of systematically categorizing the data to find the themes or patterns. I will explain what you mean by that one. You know that it means um, when you are, if you ask the sleeping patterns of particular patients, they will explain like that. No, I will sleep only 2 hours, and most of the times I am awaking. And among the sleeping duration, sometimes I drink water and get some snacks and like that. So when you refer that description, what is your uh, when you summarize that one, can you give the one term for that one, that description? As a, I again repeat that one. I can sleep for at night. I can sleep only about 2 hours. Most of the time, I am awaking and drink some water or any other drink and get some snacks and like that. So when you refer that description, can you find any term, one term for that description? What is that? As a nurses, I think you may be familiar, no? What is the term or what is the word you can get that description? What is that? What is the term you can? Insomnia, is it correct for that description? Inability to sleep or like that kind of thing we can get, no? Can you understand that one? What do you mean by the how to identify the themes and codes like that? It means when you refer, actually, as a summary, when you consider in the thematic analysis, what we do, we take the whole description of your research participants. Among them, when you refer a particular paragraph, you can identify their sleeping pattern. According to that one, you can just summarize inability to sleep or like that. Is it clear? Now, what do you mean by thematic analysis? You try to identify what are the dominant ideas in your research like that. What do you mean by thematic analysis? You can just summarize. Okay, there is no any statistical analysis using numbers and equation. You try to summarize or brief in the session. That's what you mean by thematic analysis. Okay. So I just summarized regarding the data analysis in your proposal. When you're considering, when you're describing your data analysis part, that is the last part in your methodology regarding the statistical analysis based on your data. If it is a qualitative data, you can go for some summarizing method as thematic analysis and other qualitative data analysis methods. And if your data is in the numbers or the quantitative data, you can go for some hypothesis testing like chi-square, one sample t-test like that. Okay. So mainly when you are considering the data analysis part, you should explain which test you are using, whether it is quantitative or qualitative, and as well as which one sample t-test or chi-square like that you can mention. And as well as you can mention regarding the software also. We can mention usually in your module, we are describing regarding the SPSS. There are various statistical software also. Weka, Minitab, and some advanced MATLAB and like that. In your module, we are explaining regarding the SPSS. So then in your proposal, you can mention you are using the SPSS or any other one, but in module, we are describing that SPSS only and which test you are using. So those are the main basic things you should include into your proposal when you explain your data. And so that's the end of your session regarding the research one. So I will explain regarding the your assignments. Okay. Do you have any problem or shall we continue the session? Yeah, work 1 hour. Okay. So I will explain your first assignment is research critique. I will explain how to prepare your research critique. Okay, you have 2 assignments, research critique, and the next one is your research proposal as well as its presentation. Those are the 2 assignments you should complete after this research 1 module. Okay, first I will explain regarding the research critique, how to do that one. Actually, the research critique means, critiquing means systematic process of evaluating the research by highlighting both strength and the weakness. That's the important thing, okay? Because critiquing means generally we feel that always negative things, no? But not that one. In research critique, critiquing means systematic process of evaluating both positive things as well as negative things. Okay, it means strength and the weakness of that paper. Because it is very important thing. Because after getting the critique, it will provide some encouragement as well as help and the improvement or the growth of that relevant research. Okay, so when we are considering this research critique, it means in this assignment, I will share 2 research articles. Okay, one research article is a qualitative one. another next article is quantitative one. Okay, no need to do critique for both articles. You can select your preferred article, first one or second one related to that article. You should provide critique. Okay, I will explain how to make this research critique like that. I think now you have some basic idea regarding what do you mean by the critiquing. Critique means systematic process of evaluating the research by highlighting both strength and the weakness. Please be remember as both strength as well as weaknesses. Okay. When we are considering this research critique, I just list out in your assignments what are the things you should do critique. Okay. First, research title. Regarding the title, you should give some idea regarding the actually you should refer that relevant article, and after that you can give some comments related to that article. That's the thing we are expecting as research critique. Okay. Regarding the research title, as example, you know that when you are considering a particular title, you should check that whether it is a broad one or narrow one, or whether it is suitable title or not, like that. No, so those things you can assess by referring the relevant that article. After that, the topic you can find, no, easily you can find the research title. Then when you refer the title, you can think about whether it is a broad one or whether it is a narrow one or whether it is a good no, like that kind of things you can find. No, so then you can give your comment. Okay, if it is a good title, you can mention like that. If it is there is weaknesses, you can just list out. Okay. Like as example, you know that when you are considering early also, I think I explained, no, like the what do you call the complications of diabetes. Is it a good title? Complications of diabetes. Is it a good title or bad one? Complications of diabetes.
It is very broad.
Like that, no, it's not suitable one. No, like that you can give some comments. It's not a suitable one, it's a broad one. And you can give some you can narrow down like this manner, and like that, those things you can give. Okay. Title, I think everyone easily can do that one. Okay. And not only, sometimes when you refer the whole research article, sometimes you feel that the title should be changed, like that. Okay, those things also you can mention under the research title. Okay, so the next one is abstract. I will explain what do you mean by the abstract. Abstract means when you are considering what do you mean by the abstract, when you considering your whole research, after completing your whole research, that its summary we called as abstract. Okay, when you are considering the previously published research articles also, you can find its abstract first and their research article. Okay, so then related to the abstract, what are the things actually you should watch? It means abstract means it should provide some snapshot of study. It should provide the summary of the study. So then you can check that one whether it is a suitable summary or not. It means summarize means if they are using some unnecessary quotations and unnecessary repetitions, it's useless. No, and as well as you can check that whether it is too long one, or as well as whether it present very logical order, whether it's provide some clear overview regarding your research, like that. Those things you can identify, because you know that what do you mean by the abstract. Abstract means overall summary of that relevant research. Okay. The next one is regarding the research problem. No, so when you consider the research problem also, you can think about, is it the researchable problem, or like that whether they are providing some background information regarding the research, whether they provide some significance, like that. Those things you can check. Okay, when you are considering the research problem, you know that when they are explaining their research problem, they should give some significance of that research problem, as well as purpose of that problem, and as well as some background uh, information. So you can check that whether they are providing those informations adequately. So if it is that, you can mention it is good, and you can give some comments. Okay. So the next one regarding the hypothesis as well as regarding the questions. So when we consider in the hypothesis also, you can just find out whether it is suitable, whether it is testable hypothesis or not, whether those hypotheses are clear and logical, and whether it is matched with their objectives and all that. As example, if they want to find out the association between gender and smoking habit like that, then they can go for they should construct hypothesis related to that one. No, check those are suitable hypothesis or not. And those questions, sometimes they can list out some questions. Then you can check whether it is good or bad like that. And literature review. Because I am discussing regarding, you know, that when we are considering the research articles also, you can find this when you are referring the any research article. First they find their research title, and after that you can find the abstract section, and after that you can find their introduction chapter, and as well as literature review, methodology, analysis, discussion, like that whole uh, article you can find. No? So then when you are considering the literature review part, actually what are the things you should assess? No, it means you can assess whether they are cited properly. It means they are authors and years, whether they cited in same way, you can just find. Okay, some articles you can find when they are citing, you have some alphabet, it means APA format and like that. No, so sometimes they use two formats, so it's wrong. If when we are considering that one same format, they should cite it. So those things also you can find, and you can find whether they are comparing previously published research articles and all that. Those things you can find. Okay, and as well as when you go for the methodology part, you can find out whether they mention particular research design or not, whether it is suitable for their data set or not, and whether they explain all the procedures very clearly, their data collection, analysis, all the things you can check whether under that one you can be consider research design and procedures. No, and as well as you can find that regarding the data collections also. No, whether their sample size is adequate or not, whether they are using suitable sampling method or not. We discuss several sampling methods also. No, random sampling, stratified, like that. Then you can find whether the sampling method is suitable or not, sample size is adequate or not, whether they did some sample size calculation or not, like that. And as well as whether they mention some limitations of sample collections and like that. You can just find whether they mention those things clearly or not. Okay, and as well as does the author specify instrument, means whether they may discuss their data collection tool. Okay, if they are using a particular questionnaire, whether they describe very clearly like that. Okay, those things you should consider when you are considering this uh, what do you call data related to data collection. And as well as related to data collection, does the author describe its instrument reliability, purpose, and validity? It means whether they are getting, like, did you author obtain all the permissions, like that? No, it means ethical clearance and all that, whether you can check whether they mention, and as well as whether they obtain, like that. Those things you can criticize. Okay, and finally regarding the data analysis part and the results and the discussions, uh, data analysis, you know that, no, they should mention their data analysis method and their analysis software and all that. And regarding the results, okay, when they are considering results and discussion part, I will explain what are the main purpose of all the chapters. In results part, you can just check whether they are present their results in very logical order. Okay, logical order means small finding first and advanced finding in gradually they can put. Okay, and as well as whether they are using suitable plots and all that, whether it is very clear and all that. As example, when you are considering a particular plot, whether they clearly mention what is the x-axis represent and what is the y-axis, like that, all the things are clear or not. Because when you are putting the results, you can put using some diagrams and figures. No, so like that, those things you can check. and whether this statistical analysis is appropriate or not. That kind of comments you can find. And discussion part, I will explain what are the things you should uh, refer or you should mention related to the discussion means when you are considering discussion chapter or the discussion section means you should compare, because that research author should compare his or her results with previously published research articles. Okay, so you should check that whether they did it appropriately or not. It is also like literature review chapter. In literature review chapter, we are comparing whole research, no? But in discussion, that relevant author should compare his or her results with previously published research articles. In discussion, they can mention like my results is like this and it will be matched with these results, and like that they can mention. So you should check that whether they compare well. And as well as in discussion, they can list out their research limitations, and they can mention their future research recommendations and suggestions and all that. So you can check those things and you can give some comments. Actually, as a overall, when you are doing this or when you are preparing this research critique, it's a Word document you can prepare. No, I will share two research articles. You can refer only one. Okay, please be remember some students refer both articles and make the assignments. It's not necessary. You can just refer one article, because when you refer the research title and abstract, both articles you can refer first and second one, title and the abstract you can first refer. No, so then you can get some understanding, overall understanding regarding those both articles. Then you can decide which one is suitable for you, and you can refer selected whole article. Okay, so after that you should give some research critique. When you are preparing the research critique also, I will give what are the sections you should give the research. It means criticize. Okay, a title, abstract, like that. Sometimes when you are referring the articles, some articles, because most of the articles they don't include all the things. Okay, so no need to worry, then you can put as they didn't mention literature review part, like that. Okay, because some articles you can't find clearly research literature review part. So then no need to worry, you can mention that they don't mention literature reviews, like that. Sometimes they didn't mention sampling method. So then you can just mention it's not clear, or like that you can give some comments. Okay, so those are the things you should be consider when you prepare in the research critique. And another thing, because up to now you can criticize introduction chapter, literature review chapter, and methodology also, sampling method, sample size calculations, and all the things you can do. But I think this analysis and results and the discussions, okay, because it may be somewhat difficult sometimes, because up to now you have some brief idea regarding the analysis, no? So then when I'm giving the marks also, I will consider that one. No need to worry, but at least other sections can do very well. And analysis, results and questions also try to do. I will consider when I'm giving marks, because after considering all, it means because the research critic, when I'm sharing that one, it is whole article. No? So then sometimes it is difficult to give some comments regarding the research and analysis also, but you can give some, at least you can mention, they mention the statistical analysis and it is somewhat appropriate, that kind of thing also, at least you can understand, you can so no need to worry about that final part. Other things you can do as you can. Okay, is it clear regarding the research critique? Because you are criticizing whole article, no? So therefore analysis and results may be somewhat difficult. So no need to worry. You can do as you can. Okay. Do you have any problem regarding the research critique, or shall we continue the session? This is your first assignment. Okay. Shall we continue?
Okay, madam.
Okay. So, research critic, I will share Tuesday or Wednesday next week. I will share Tuesday or Wednesday. You can collect from the department, and I will give some appropriate time for that one also. Okay. So, the next assignment is research proposal. Okay. So I will explain regarding how to prepare your proposal also. Up to now, actually, this whole module we discussed regarding those regarding this your research proposal. No? So what are the main chapters you should include into your proposal? What are the main chapters? What are the main chapters when you prepare in the proposal? What are the 3 main chapters you should include?
Introduction,
Yeah, introduction,
literature review, and methodology.
literature, yeah, those are the main chapters. Very good. Okay. And the methodology. So apart from that one, there are some additional pages also. I will explain those pages and I will refresh your knowledge regarding those 3 chapters also. Okay. The first one is cover page. I think no need to explain, but I just put when you are preparing some project report or any other things also, you are preparing that kind of cover page or the title page. When you are considering here also, at least those informations you should put. Okay. I am not discussing regarding the formats, font size and all that. I just discuss what are the things you should include. Okay. Title, it should be, you should include clearly. And also your name, okay, student name and your registration number and your supervisor name and your university and year of, uh, it means this one, 2025 like that. Those basic informations, if you need, you can put supervisor designations and all that also. Those informations you should put. And when you prepare this title page also, please be remember your title, okay? It should be sometimes you can find some grammar mistakes as well as spelling mistakes. Those things please be remember, okay? Because any reviewer first look at your title, okay? If there is any mistakes, sometimes they can get some bad impression regarding you. So please be remember those things when you preparing your title page, and as well as font size, alignments, spellings, and all that also you should be consider. Those basic informations you should include into your cover page. Okay. So the next page is acknowledgement. Okay. Acknowledgement page. Okay. Acknowledgement page means you are giving some gratitudes or the thanks for your, it means who supported you. It means your supervisor and your lecturers and um, like that. When you preparing your proposal, um, uh, you get some help from others and other individuals give some guidelines. So then you can mention those individuals and you can give some gratitude for those individuals. So when you are preparing the acknowledgement also, no need to excessively introduce those individuals. In simply way, you can give their gratitudes. Okay. And the next page is, this is the acknowledgement page. After cover page, you can put your acknowledgement. And the next one is table of content. I think no need to explain. Table of content means you can list out it means topics in the pages in your proposal, and it means first one is as introduction and what is the page number, and under the introduction there are sub sections, no, like background, research problem, like that. Those pages you can mention. Table of content, I think no need to explain further regarding that one. So those pages you can include. Okay. After cover page, acknowledgement and table of content. I am discussing most necessary pages with your supervisor and other ones guideline. You can put some other pages also, but at least cover page, acknowledgement, and after that table of content. And then I will explain regarding those main chapters. Okay, because Those are the important content in your proposal. Okay. So when you're considering introduction chapter, what are the things you should include? Can you list out? What are the main sections you should include? Introduction. In introduction chapter, what are the things you should include? Introduction. What are the sections you should include under the introduction chapter? I join in. What are the things you should include? You can refresh your knowledge and try to find the answer. What are the things you should include into introduction? Okay, I will start, then you can continue. Okay. You should you should explain your research problem, no? Yeah. What are the other things? You should explain clearly regarding the research problem. And what are the other things? What are the other things you should include into the introduction?
How many time period?
How many time period
Objectives.
mean? Yeah, objectives. Very good. Your research problem, objectives, and what are the other things? You have only 3 chapters. Literature review means it is a different chapter from other chapters. No? So when you compare the introduction and the methodology, methodology means the way you conducting your research. No, the introduction means you are trying to introduce your research. So that one, under that one, what are the things you should include?
Hypothesis.
Yeah, hypothesis also you can include into introduction, as well as if you need, you can include into methodology also. Okay, under the analysis, you can include. If it is not introduction, also you can include. Okay, yeah, hypothesis under the introduction, according to your guideline, they will mention as under the introduction. Yeah, it's okay. What are the other things? What are the other things? I think it's better if you can list out, okay, other than me. Problem, hypothesis. Related to problem, what are the other things you should include?
Geographical area.
Geographical, yeah, it means describing your problem. No, yeah, geographical area. And what are the other things? Main things you mentioned as objectives, hypothesis, problem, and apart from that one, what are the other things? Okay. What about background of the research? That's the main thing. First, you should introduce your research background. No, it means if you are considering diabetes, you can give some background regarding. It means what is the prevalence of diabetes in Sri Lanka, or you're considered a district or considered area, and not only that one, you can consider with other countries also, like you can put some prevalence values related to the Asia or worldwide. Like that, you can give some background. Okay, in this background, you can define what do you mean by the diabetes, and because all the individuals don't know what do you mean by the diabetes mellitus, no. So then you can clearly define what do you mean by the diabetes, and as well as if you are considering the complication, your research is related to the diabetes, complications of diabetes, so then you can just list out, or you can brief reference regarding those complications and their prevalences, or like that. Those background informations you should include, okay, in introduction, and as well as clearly describe your research problem. I put this image for research background, okay. This one for uh, your research problem you should include, and the significance. Okay, can you remember now? What do you mean by the significance? Significance means significance. All the things we discussed, no, in the previous sessions. Significance means
What is the importance?
oh yeah, what is the importance? No, it means you should justify why you are doing this research. Very good. Using you can compare with the literature, so you can mention that your findings may be affect to the society in that way, and as well as you can mention that you are using those variables, and like that you can just justify. As example, if you are selecting a particular geographical area, also you should justify why you are selecting that geographical area. Sometimes, as example, when you are considering the thalassemia also, you are selecting particular district or like that. That is very high prevalent. You can find large number of thalassemia patients in that area. So that's why I am selecting that geographical like that. That kind of justifications you should provide. That's the in significance. Okay. And if you are selecting particular age group also, you can just show that this is the important age group for relevant to that disease. So like that, that kind of justifications you should provide in significance section. And the next one is regarding why. Why means the purpose of that. It means the purpose of your research. You should clearly explain what is the purpose of conducting this research, like that. And after that, you should include your research objectives. Okay. When you are considering the objectives, also two types, no, general objective and as well as specific objectives. And specific objectives, two or more than two, no. So I think in my view, I think if you can take don't take more specific ones, because sometimes you can't evaluate. Okay. And also you should remember, when you are constructing the specific objectives, check that some specific objective, whether you are repeating same thing or not, like that. Okay. And whether you can evaluate like that. Okay. And another one is hypothesis. I think you mentioned objectives and hypothesis. You can construct, and also hypothesis, and as well as if there is hypothesis, and as well as you can mention questions also. And also another thing, some definitions. Earlier I mentioned, if you are considering diabetes, you can give some definition related to the diabetes and like that. Okay. So those are the main things you should include under the introduction chapter: background, research problem, significance, research purpose, objectives, hypothesis and questions, and some definitions. Okay. So those are the main things you should include into your introduction. And if you need some summary also, you can provide at the end of your introduction chapter regarding your research. Okay. Other than those informations. Okay. So the next one, literature review. What are the things you should include into the literature review chapter? Or how to prepare the literature review chapter? How to prepare the literature review chapter? I think now you have some basic idea how to prepare that chapter like that. How to prepare the literature review chapter. In introduction, those are the main things you should include. So when you prepare literature review, anyone? Is it difficult to understand how to prepare the literature review chapter? This is the second chapter in your proposal. You should compare previously published research articles, no? I mentioned like the things when you prepare, when you compare in that one, you can select few articles and you can just prioritize. So then when you're comparing one, it means when you describing one article within the one paragraph, I think you can just summarize that article. So then you can just summarize second article, third one, like that. Within paragraph wise, you can do that one. So when you are putting that summary, you should mention their title and authors and their main objectives if you need, you can mention, and their sampling method or size and their analysis method and their main findings and final conclusions, like that. Those information you can just summarize when you comparing those research articles. And when you're comparing that one also, you can select international as well as local articles. And also another thing, when you are considering your literature review chapter, main purpose is comparing previously published research article. No? Apart from that one, if you are using some theories, okay, it means theoretical framework, then that theories also you can include into the literature review part. Okay, if you are using particular theory or like that, those theories you can mention as a theoretical framework in your literature review, and after that you can do your comparison. Okay, um, regarding your research problem. Okay, at least I think if you can put 5 or more research articles, it's better. Okay, is it clear how to prepare the literature review? Do you have any problem more? Shall we continue the session? Okay, the next one is methodology. Under the methodology, what are the things you should include? What are the sections? Can you list out methodology? Methodology section. What are the things you should include?
Research design.
Yeah, very good. Research design. Your design. What are the other things? Design means you can mention your design and you can briefly explain that one. Yeah, what are the other things?
Data collection.
Yeah, regarding the data collection, what are the things you should include?
Population and sample.
Yeah, very good. Population and sample.
Study settings.
Yeah, study setting.
Sample size
Yeah,
calculation.
yeah, sample size calculation.
Sampling method.
Yeah, very good. Sampling method.
Ethical considerations.
Yeah, very good. Ethical consideration.
Calculations.
Calculations means samples analysis, no? Yeah,
Analysis.
yeah, very good. What are the other things? Okay, I just list out. You mentioned a lot of sections. I will just summarize your research design and as well as first then your study setting. Okay, you know that how to prepare that study setting. and your population and sample. Under that one, you should mention what is clearly. You should mention what is your population, what is your sample, and as well as sampling method you can mention, and your sample size calculation you can put, and you can mention how to do the sample size calculation like that. Actually, I discussed few equations. Apart from that one, there are some simple equations also. Based on your research, you can use this one also. It is a very simple one. Uh, I will explain all the terms here. Okay, this is the sample size. N means your population size. If you know the population size only, you can apply this equation. This is also population size. 1 plus d square means degree of precision or the margin of error. Okay, this is also a very common equation. If you can use this one also, if you know the population size, and it depends on your research topic and all that. Okay. So I discuss few equations and all that. You can consider that one. So anyhow, when we're considering under the sample, you should discuss your sampling method, sample size calculations, and inclusion and exclusion criteria mainly. Okay. So then after that one, your data collection. Regarding the data collection, what are the things you should include? No, your data collection procedure, whether you are using interview or like that, those things you should discuss, and your ethical clearance. Okay. You should clearly mention, and as well as your questionnaire, how many questions and all the structure of your questionnaire, and as well as how to evaluate your questionnaire. No, using pre-test, you can evaluate, as well as compress alpha like that. Those things you can mention, and also another important thing is your variables. Okay, variables you should include. What are the variables I'm considering, like fasting blood, sorry, fasting blood sugar level, weight, and all that. Then you should list out your variables and how to measure those variables, and you can list out, or you can categorize what are the independent variables as well as what are the dependent variables like that. Okay, and also your data analysis. Okay, regarding the data collection, your data collection procedure, ethical clearance, your data collection tool, and as well as variables you can include. And regarding the data analysis, you can just mention your data analysis method related to each objectives, and relevant hypothesis also in here also you can mention, and as well as introduction also you can mention, and which software we are using like that. Those basic information regarding analysis you should clearly explain. Okay, those are the main things you should include into your methodology section. Methodology means easily you can be remember how to do your research. No, what is your design and what is your study setting. What is your sample and what is your population, how to collect the data, and how to analyze the data. So those are the main things you should include into your methodology chapter. So after that, there are some additional pages also, like list of references. I think you know that. What do you mean by that one? It means what are the articles you referred for this, how when you are preparing the proposal, those references you should list out. And also you know that when you're preparing the what do you call assignments also, you are following APA format and all that. So according to that format, you can list out your references. And the next part is annexure. I think no need to explain. Annexure means you should attach some additional documents. Actually, when you prepare in the proposal, what are the additional documents you should attach, especially your questionnaire. Okay, your questionnaire, tentative questionnaire, you can prepare and you can attach into the proposal. And also as a attachment, you can attach some time frame, and as well as if you can prepare budget also you can attach. At least your questionnaire you should attach as a annexure. Okay, those are the things you should include into your proposal. Okay, those are the attachment, your questionnaire and your time frame and the budget also. Is it clear regarding the how to prepare the proposal? Do you have any questions, or shall we continue the session? Okay, final, because you have two assignment, critique and the proposal. No? Under the proposal, you should prepare your proposal. It's a soft copy. You can submit into the department. And after that, after completing your proposal, the department will inform regarding your research proposal presentations. So on that day, you should prepare your research proposal presentations. When you are preparing the presentation, I think you may be familiar. But in here, when you are considering, actually, it is a visual version of your research proposal. No? So in that case, those are the main slides you should include. Title slide, or you know that, no? It is also like your cover page, no? So in that one, you can put your title and your name and all the basic information you can include. And next one is regarding the few slides for introduction chapter. Okay, few slides for introduction chapter. Under that one, you can discuss your research problem and give some background informations and objectives you should list out, and significance of those things you can just summarize. Okay, after that, few slides for first few slides for introduction chapter and few slides for literature review chapter. There is one thing you should be remember, because when you're preparing the presentation means you just try to summarize or brief in. No? So in that case, when you prepare the literature review slides, I think it's better not only for your proposal. When you prepare the presentation, literature review slides, you can prepare like this. It means you can prepare as a table. Okay, it means you can put the research titles. You are comparing few articles, no? So then title and their authors or year of publications also you can put, and you can put their methodology and their main findings and their conclusions like that. You can arrange or you can just summarize as a table. I think it's better than the uh, arranged as a paragraph. But in proposal, don't arrange it as a table. In proposal, you can arrange as a paragraph, no? But in presentation, you can just summarize your literature review chapter as a table. Okay, you can just decide. I think it's better. Then easily you can explain, and reviewers easily can understand. Okay. Then after that, few slides for methodology. I think you know that what are the things you should include into the methodology also. And another thing I just missed, when you are considering the methodology chapter, you can include some conceptual framework or a theoretical framework. Theoretical framework you can include into the literature. Conceptual framework, I think I explained. Conceptual framework means what is the connection between your variables and how to get the conclusion like that. That kind of framework also you can include into the methodology. Okay. In the sessions, during the methodology sessions, I think I explained. In here, I missed that one. Okay. Conceptual frame also, it means what is the connection between variables and all that you can mention. And when you consider in the presentation, finally you can put the acknowledgement slide and references. Okay, those are the main slides you can include: title and few slides for introduction, literature, methodology, and acknowledgement and the references. Okay, so those are the content regarding your presentation. And also don't, I think, okay, don't fool with the text. Okay, when you prepare the slides, if it is fill with the text, okay, I think it's boring. You can be consider that one. And always try to summarize, not like your proposal using some figures or using some tables. As I mentioned, literature review slides, when you prepare the literature review using the table, you can just summarize, no? So like that you can use various ways, using figures or using tables. You can just summarize. And also try to build all the slides in very logical order. And also when you prepare the slides also, you can be consider the font size, alignment, spaces and colors, all that. And also that is regarding the content and how to prepare the presentation. And when you're presenting, okay, it is also like usual assignment presentation, but other than that one, um, you should be considered it as exam and as well as you know that how to present. No, it means you should on your videos. So therefore, please be consider about your surroundings and your connections and all that. And also your dress and all the things, no need to explain. And after your presentation, not like other assignment presentations, there is a small discussions with you. The examiner will ask few questions and you have to give some answers and all that. There is a small discussion regarding your proposal. So please be consider about that one because some students, although they put some informations in the presentations, after go for the discussions, they don't know what are those. So therefore, when you prepare in the presentation, familiar with all the content in your presentation as well as your proposal. Okay. So therefore, when giving the marks also, they will be consider your content of your presentation as well as the way you present, your confidence and all that. So I think you can build the confidence. How to build the confidence? You should be familiar with all the content in your presentation as well as your proposal. It means if you clearly know which sampling method you are using and all that, then you have, it means if you are familiar with all the content, only you can build this confidence, no? Because there is a small discussion with you after presentation. No? So please be consider about that one also. So, okay, that's the end of your session, okay? So do you have any problem regarding assignments? Two assignments, research critic. I will share, I think Tuesday or Wednesday next week. Then you can collect and you can start the research critic. What about, did you start your research now or I don't know what is the process of, did you start your research? Do you have
Not yet,
supervisor?
ma'am.
Not
No,
yet, no?
ma'am.
Yeah, okay. The department will inform. Then you can start. But research critic, you can do no because research critic means you are criticizing another research. No, then you can do next week. I will share and you can collect from the department and you can start that one. And when you consider research critic, also another thing, don't excessively explain. Okay, like because you can just summarize that one when you related to the title also. No need to criticize overly. Okay, you can just mention whether it is good or bad and as well as broad those things in very as a summary you can just list out. Okay, if it is not it will don't prepare very long critic. Okay, please be considered because I list out what are the topic you should criticize. Under that one, you can give some brief introduction regarding related to title. Using, I think, 2-3 sentence, you can criticize title. No? So like that, okay? And another thing regarding the research critic, what about proposal and presentation? Do you have any problem? Or? Okay, if you have no problem, I can wind up the session. The department will appoint some supervisors for you, and as well as most of the cases, they will arrange some group research, okay? Not individual one. Then you can, they will assign some groups and they will assign supervisors for each group and you can do the you can start the research. So then the supervisor also you can discuss with your supervisor also. Then you can get some help from the supervisor and guidance also. And as well as again, I want to highlight emphasize you until the department will inform regarding your supervisors and starting date of your research. I think it's better to you can just think about particular research problem and you can just refer. No, sometimes supervisor can change or it will be I don't know, but you can get some idea and you can refer the literatures and I think it's better. No, yeah. So like that, those things you can start. Okay. So if you have no problem, I will wind up the session. And thank you for all.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
madam. Excuse
Yeah.
me, madam. I have problem, madam, about nursing studies 2 assignment.
Yeah.
Madam, with or without word count references about
What do you mean by that one?
nursing studies
Ma'am, word
2
count
assignment.
including references also?
No, no. Main content, no. It means when you
Content
prepare.
only.
Yeah,
Content
yeah.
only.
Oh,
Yeah. References
okay,
means
ma'am.
additional things. No, when you
Okay.
consider the references, it is not useless, but the content. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, madam.
Okay. Do you have any problem? Okay. This is the end of research 1, and I highly appreciate your active participations, and good luck for everyone. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
Madam.
Thank you.